Good morning, good morning. And Mel, I think you're first. Oh, we have Christine here too. Good morning, ladies. So, let me turn the music off. All right, I'm not going to put the music on low today. I'm going to cover some serious topics. So, yesterday, I'm confident that most people saw the broadcast with Zelensky making an appeal to, oh, get your coffee ready. Absolutely. I got my water going. Got Mel in the house. So let me know what time you think the lives are good in the morning, too. Good morning, Danielle. I'm trying to figure out when I can work out, and I have to start my day job at 8:30. And we are going back to the office, so I will be out of my basement office starting in May. I'll be going into the office 2 days a week, which is great. Back to life as it is. So we all saw the speech that Zelensky gave yesterday. I actually just watched it this morning at 5 a.m. I was scrambling yesterday. Powerful stuff he had there with the video and the appeal to Biden. So there were a couple of things that were a bit upsetting to me. I know there were a few people that I spoke with yesterday that were pretty upset by that speech. Just because it does seem like he's kind of at the end of his rope and he needs a lot more assistance. We all know he did amazing. Mel. It was an amazing speech. So it is going to be a historic speech as far as I'm concerned. But it, kind of felt like a farewell a little bit. So, he's still in the game. But let's see. Late evening in Australia. My former sister-in-law lives in Australia, and I can never get the time exchange right. I have no idea what time it is there, here. So is it Thursday or is it Friday? I think it's Friday for you, isn't it? Or yeah, it is Friday for you, right, Mel? So late Friday evening, I think. I don't know. It's so confusing. But so I wanted to do a pressure check, energy check on Zelensky. Again, I want to remind everybody that tarot really is about the current energies. The what if readings we can always do, like what if this happens, what if that happens, but it really is like current energy readings. So there's always free will, there's always things that can change. So if this seems bleak, don't worry. There was my sloppy shuffle for the morning. If it seems bleak, don't worry. Things can change. It doesn't have to stay the same way. Always remember that butterfly effect. We were talking about the butterfly effect with the kids yesterday, my husband and I. So let's see how Zelensky's doing. And everybody, let me know how my sound is. Is my sound doing okay? Am I talking loud enough? Oh, thank you, Jasmine. I needed that. Thank you. I feel like I need Botox. I think I might do a little Botox. But thank you. So let's get a bead on Zelensky right now. He's the world's hero. And I got a jump out card. Queen of Wands. Okay, that's kind of a neat card to jump out for him. Queen of Wands, you all know, this is passionate, fiery, heroic energy. This is really a heroic energy. So he's going to sit in that hero seat. He's moving and shaking. He's making things happen there. Oh, one last thing I want to ask you guys. Do you want to keep the two screens, or if you want me just to do the card view when I'm pulling cards, I can do that if it's a better view for you. So let me know in the comments how you'd like me to do that. My stomach's growling. I hope the mic's not picking that up. So we're going to put this Queen of Wands up here by Mr. Octopus. And let's see what we get. What we get. So this is a little troubling. We'll put our Queen of Wands over here. Stand her. Well, maybe she's not going to stand up, but we'll put her over there. I just want to move everybody to the left, to the left, to the left. Oh boy. Okay, so Zelensky's surprises are going to be revealed. Whatever plans, if he has some undercover plans, they're going to be revealed right here. So we have this King of Wands in reverse, and that's the execution. You can kind of consider the Queen of Wands is like the heart of his heroism. We'll put her up there. It's like the heart of his heroism, and this is the head of his heroism here. Whatever his plans, they're going to be revealed. So we're going to have some of whatever tricks he had up his sleeve. Other people are hip to it right now. So he is going to have a lot of trouble controlling what's going on. He needs help. He needs outside help, unfortunately. That really stinks. The partnerships that he is looking for are not coming. They're not forthcoming at all. There's just a resistance to giving him what he needs, which is probably that no-fly zone. This is for entertainment purposes only. You could look at my little ticker on the bottom. The partnerships that he needs, the partnership with the United States, it looks like it's not going to happen. Yeah, it is, Mel. It really is. So we're going to take a look at that too, though, because I got plenty of time. I got almost an hour. So it really is. Now, the inevitability, he's holding off here. He's holding his ground, and he does. Good morning, Creator Nat. He is holding the line for the most part. The resistance of the West or the United States to give him the assistance that he wants is extraordinarily disappointing. Everyone is rallying behind him, but it's like, yay, we're going to do a little filter on our Facebook post. He doesn't need Facebook posts. He doesn't need thoughts and prayers. I'm sorry, I flipped you all off there. Let me use both fingers. He doesn't need thoughts and prayers, and he's a little disgusted that that's what's coming forth. He's grateful, as he said in the speech, for all the assistance that has been offered so far, but he needs more, and he doesn't understand why it's not happening. He wants to negotiate and rebuild, but it feels like that the window of opportunity for that is almost over, and the things are slipping through his fingers. So there's you know, a lot of emotion is coming through. He's very, very upset that he hasn't been able to hold it together. It's like, this is like a dad who has lost his job and is losing the house and hasn't been able to pay the bills and hasn't been entirely forthcoming about it. There's those of you that aren't familiar with my channel, I was a history minor, and I studied pre and post revolutionary Russian history and Russian history in general. I speak a little bit of Russian. My father is from the Ukraine Russian area, but his father emigrated to the United States. So that is part of my father's heritage. So I have a very keen interest in Slavic history and the Slavic areas. And I've always said Russia's never had like salad days where like everything's been calm. There's always been some kind of intrigue and some kind of movement in terms of political activity and social standing. So the whole concept of Mother Russia is very, very strong. Mother Russia is honored and worshipped, and the role of the Tsar, prior to the revolution, was the father of the country, and he was the conduit to God. That's really the concept behind the Tsar. He is not only political leader, but he's also religious leader, and he is an actual conduit to God. And people would pray to him, and he would, pray that up to the God. So I said the God. So, this concept of Zelensky stepping into a more fatherly role of Ukraine is very, very familiar in terms of, Slavic cultural vibe, like cultural milieu. So, this is it. It just seems like he's very annoyed. He's more annoyed than that video let on. So let's see how he feels about the messaging from the West. Okay, we're going to see how he feels about that. And ask questions, Mel. I got your question there. I'm going to get to that one, honey. So Mel, and you know what? I can't figure out how to switch my screen so that because like I could do this. Watch, boom. I could do that, but I can't figure out how to switch it so that the cards are bigger. So we'll just say, oh, you know what? Maybe that one might be a little bit better. Wide screen for my wide body. So we'll be able to see the spread a little bit better. Let's do some better blocking. There we go. Still work in progress over here, ladies and gentlemen. So how does Zelensky feel about the response of the West? How does he feel about the response of the West? This is your first time here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Do all kinds of neat stuff here. So no matter what, he is going to keep asking for help, no matter what. Okay. Thank you, darling, for sharing. Thank you. Yay. Appreciate that. So no matter what, he's going to stay in this father role, and he's going to keep asking for help. He's going to keep asking right from a bunker covered in dust while bombs are exploding around him. He's still going to be getting on his cell phone and asking for help. He's still going to do that. His goal is to take care of his people, and he is this warrior prince. So He's so young. Oh my God, he's so young. But I'm sorry, I'm like trying to pack myself back into my sweatshirt. He is super, super young, and he's going to keep appealing to everyone with the children. He's going to keep pointing out that there are children in this country that are being affected by the situation that's happening, by the invasion circumstance. I'm not sure what we're calling it today, um, but he's going to keep illuminating that. The video that he showed yesterday had a lot of children in it and a lot of babies. There was one scene where they had a whole bunch of babies lined up on a couch that are, presumably in a refugee situation. So he's going to keep bringing those babies up, and that is a good thing. He's going to keep putting that in front of the West, the U.S. Government officials. He's going to keep putting that there, and he's going to keep juxtaposing. Or I shouldn't say juxtaposing. He's going to keep presenting the children, and then he's going to appeal to President Biden. He's going to present the children and then appeal to President Biden. I think these messages are going to get more intense. I think they're going to keep making these production videos, and they're going to keep presenting them, because right now it's not making a difference. It's like, oh, I feel bad about that. Thoughts and prayers. But we're not going to do the no-fly zone. Negotiation is going to be what's going to stop what's going on. Um, there's certain fears about getting into those negotiations, because he doesn't know how truthful the other parties will be, Putin presumably, or representatives of Putin. um, he is having trouble holding everything back. He can't do it on his own. There's this level of disappointment. Negotiation is what's going to bring uh, a, a modicum of peace to his country and to his people. But he has very, very grave concerns about the truthfulness of the other side of negotiation. So whatever he agrees to, he's afraid that it's going to not be upheld, and not be done, and not be supported by the West, and not be reinforced by the West. So he feels like he's going to be kind of on his own. And if he caves, he's worried that they're going to take advantage of it. He doesn't want to show that weakness, because he's afraid that the country will be taken advantage of. So let's take a look at what 46 Joe Biden is thinking right now. Let's see what he's thinking. Oh. Oh boy. So, and this isn't to say Joe Biden himself. This is the consensus of U.S. support. So we're not going to do the no-fly zone. But like today, the no-fly zone is not happening. Today, there's no charitable hand that's going to be passed out to them. They're just not willing to do it. It's to preserve our own interests, unfortunately. It's going to be a bad look for the United States. It's definitely going to be a bad look worldwide for the United States. The response right now is not going to, if they continue with this, there's this indecision. It's a very odd feeling. There's this indecision about how to extend help to Zelensky and Ukraine. It's a very it's like there's a lot of noise and there's a lot of shouting and there's a lot of um, heated conversation. And there are individuals that are just like, no, we're not, no, no. There's like a big fat no in the middle of all of this. Um, the conversation is over. It's like if you ever have a fight with your spouse and they've just had it and they go, this conversation is over, and they walk out like they do the Tyler Durden and they just walk out and slam the door. Um, it really does feel like that. We are at a stalemate in our behind the door, behind the scenes conversations on this. So we're not going to move any further. I do feel like Europe is like, man, what are you doing? There are elements in Europe that just are really, really questioning. There are elements that are seeing the United States as a dead world power. That's alarming. They see us as like we can't get out of our own way, and that we cannot make a solid decision without 45 different special interests getting involved and pulling us in 45 different directions. I just saw this article about Elon Musk, and it was kind of neat. Elon Musk, he does this analogy of like trying to learn about a new topic or a new subject, and it's you have to understand the trunk of the tree first before you go into the branches and the leaves. And it's almost like that, like we're fighting over the interests of the leaves versus the trunk. The trunk would be the world, the leaves would be different special interests and different individual needs and wants, let's just put it that way. So okay, hang on. Okay. Okay. You can send me an email to fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com, and give me a clearer question, and I can maybe answer that for you. And I'm throwing cards all over the place. So, Mel, I think you asked before, what do I think will happen to him? Let's see our future for Zelensky. Again, this is like, you have to remember we've got free will here. Free will. Anything can happen. This could be just a current energy reading, so bear with. So again, we've got him holding his ground and trying to maintain what he's doing, but he's got some tricks up his sleeves that are going to be revealed. So that is difficult. The plans that he have are not going to be able to be executed. There's a leak somewhere. He's not going to be moving forward in terms of success at the moment. It does feel right now that they're, just kind of holding the line. There's a lot of pressure on him and on the rest, on their defenses. There's a lot of pressure, but it doesn't feel like they're, crumbling. It's just, it's like Hodor. They're holding the door. they're really, really holding the door very firmly. It's just a matter of time before that gives. They need, if they're going to push back, they need some support. Are they going to get support from Europe? Let's see if Europe is going to come to the rescue. I know there was something about Poland sending planes, and U.S. was supposed to replenish those planes. I don't know what was going on with that. So we've got a female player here. I'm not sure who that is, but the videos that he's going to put out, and I hesitate to use the word propaganda, but the videos that he puts out are going to be very persuasive in Europe, and they are going to motivate the European countries. Again, this is going to be a bad look for the United States, even though being in the United States, right now we're a mess. Like I don't know who would even want our help because we're kind of a mess politically, but that's my opinion. That's just a tarot reading. I don't want to get shut down. So it looks like Europe is going to mobilize a bit more. And we've got strong female leadership who's going to come in with really decisive responses to what's going on, with Russia pressing in. There will be some discrepancy about that. There's going to be some people that aren't in favor of that. So I have a feeling we're going to see a split in support. So I'm going to be watching the news very closely today to see how Europe is responding to the United States response's call to arms. It basically was a call to arms, that speech yesterday. So what? And good morning, Jen 007. I'm glad to see you here. How coincidental. Out of foreign wars, and we were bang for war once again. Yeah. I think that's pretty weird too. So, all of a sudden we're back in, or like sort of in. We got like, it's like the hokey pokey. We got like one arm in and one arm out. Put your left arm in and shake it all about. So let's do this. Let's do this. I know Wednesday is a what if day, but let's do what if the U.S. offers full support. So talking no-fly zone, going in balls out, making things happen. Okay. And what if we don't? What will happen to the Ukraine? So we're going to do some what ifs. What ifs. Just a tarot reading. This is only my opinion. Do your own research, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll switch up my banner. There you go. Yeah, I got to change these banners so that I put my scheduler on there too. So what if we give support, and what if we don't? What if we give full no-fly support? Bang, 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 bang. What if we don't? All right. So those of you that follow me know that these pentacles are all about the money. These are all about the money. Follow the money, you'll follow the leader. So, Jen, I think I'm getting your answer here. So this is what if we provide no-fly support. Okay, we're going to go in there and we're going to become policemen of the world again. Okay, it would be noble and it would be viewed as a noble effort. the rest of the world is going to go, yay, they're going in there and they're helping out, to the rescue. It's like, what are those pound puppies or whatever? My nieces and nephews are into them. Paw Patrol, Paw Patrol. That's what I was thinking. So it'll be seen as, awesome. Hey, yay, they're going in there. They're going to help out. Okay. It's not going to be a 1, 2, 3. We just go in and take care of business and get out. Okay. It's not going to be a My Bodyguard situation if you're old enough to know that movie. Hang on. I got to grab some water. It'll be more like the fight scene from Dazed and Confused, where the guy thinks he's going to go in and just punch the guy once and everyone's going to break up the fight and everyone's going to come to the rescue. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be boom, 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 boom. There's going to be a lot of trouble with that. It's going to be a skirmish. I know skirmish is the wrong word to use for it, but it's going to be like a pretty intense experience. It's not going to be, we just go in there, problem solved, we shut it down. Hey, no fly zone. You're going to stop doing what you're doing. It's going to get ugly. And there will be a lot of messaging that is line crossing. So I always thought that when President Biden, 46, said in an interview, someone asked him, is Vladimir Putin a killer? And he just nodded his head. I thought that was the line in the sand. You can't really... That was the moment where diplomacy died with the Russian government, in my opinion. You can't, you have to negotiate, and you have to still have some manners and be polite. You can't go in there like that. And I think 45 did that with North Korea. I think 45 went in there and he said, listen, let's get down to brass tacks, and we're going to be polite, but I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to tell you we don't want to do this. So I think the minute there's a tremendous value in Russian culture about put on politeness. For example, like when you would go to the doctor, historically, the doctor would never say, "How are you?" because it's considered impolite and it's prying. It's a very different construction of how they would say, what's happening with you, how are you feeling? So it's just the language is a little bit different, but culturally it's very different too. And it did change after the revolution. There was a very, very significant change in the language and in the culture of the language, if that makes sense to you. If any of you are linguistics, you know what I mean. So we would have to defend ourselves and defend that action of doing the no-fly zone significantly, and it still would not be quite successful, believe it or not. It doesn't look like that no-fly zone, coming in with that heavy air support, closing the sky over Ukraine is not going to be as successful as they want it to be. So it feels almost like that would escalate the situation. It would escalate the offensive portion of the Russian activity there. Let's call it activity. So if we don't offer that assistance, what's going to happen is the United States will be considered like a non-entity. No, Mel, I'm not including NATO support. I'm just talking about, the US support. It just feels like, I hate to say like paper tiger, but, the sanctions, we were like throwing paper at them. I kept saying that. But this really feels like the conversation, like it's like almost like, okay, you guys are idiots. We're not even going to deal with you anymore. We'll just deal with this on our own. They'll still keep on keeping on, but it's almost, there's a delicate balance here of preservation of some other interest, and that it's not open to me. This is just not open to me. And Jen 007, this is this is what right here is the reason for us not jumping in. I don't know what it is, but it's the reason for us not full force. Oh man. Hang on, hang on. This relationship is so convoluted, and the interest that we have there, and it's a financial interest, is so convoluted, I can't get a bead on it. And pull out, oh, my delightful amethyst wand just went flying. Let me pull out some clarifiers here and we'll see. This is the United States interest in Ukraine. What is the main point of this interest? And we have wavy lines. Let's look that sucker up. Wavy lines, 102, 102. Clairvoyance, meditate. This is, I think I'm going to do some CRV behind the scenes. I'll do that on my own. It's a little, I don't want to just whip it out on any of my stuff here right now. But there is, actually, let's pull another clarifier coin. Let's see if we get something else from the clarifier coin. And we got 59, and I believe that's energy. Nuclear science, scientific, there's something scientific behind it. So that is our interest there. And that's why we don't want to disrupt the relationship. Sound off in the comments if you have more questions. I'm going to look at NATO next. Keep them coming. Go get another cup of coffee if you need it. Mel, I know you're probably having a cocktail because it's nighttime and getting ready for bed. Or cup of tea, delicious cup of tea. So let's see what NATO is going to do. We're going to look at NATO as like an entire entity, an entity of its own. NATO. It's so funny when like I shuffle my cards, I tuck my chin, and I get like this crazy double chin. So annoying. So NATO response to Zelensky. NATO response. Zelensky's speech. Let's see what they want to do. NATO wants to give some support. NATO is very interested in providing some support to them. But it's behind the scenes. This isn't public information. NATO is very concerned about this crossing of borders, but there is conflict in the discussion. Okay, so we've got our Knight of Swords in reverse, our Queen of Wands in reverse, the King of Cups in reverse, Queen of Pentacles upright, and our King of Swords upright. Also our Emperor in reverse here. So when we look at this, what I want you to see, the Sun card, a lot of people think the Sun card's just good. So when we get it can be things revealed and it can be things concealed that will be revealed. So when it's in reverse and then we have this handsome Knight of Pentacles upright, crossing it. This is keeping valuables safe. So right now, those conversations, they want to keep them undercover because, NATO doesn't have a reason to technically go in there yet. So we've got the King of Cups who's saying, you know what, this is an emotional appeal, true, but it doesn't have any weight to it. It doesn't have any we don't have any causation other than it feels wrong. It doesn't feel right. We want to do the moral right thing. Right now, according to the rules that are in place, it's not the legal right thing to do and get involved. The concern is that if we get involved there, it is going to erupt. And we're speaking of NATO, it's going to erupt into a much larger crisis, and it will be a poor decision making move. So we're treading lightly. They are treading lightly, and they're trying to keep those leaks to a minimum. They don't want this information out there. They don't want anyone to, insinuate or suggest that they are moving on more aggressively than they would like to. So one of the things, let's look at, did I have any questions in there? Oh, goodness. Okay. Let me see. Really weird question. I will answer this. I will take a look. So let's see. Are we seeing the same dude from the 80s to now? Same dude, looking at 46. Is he the same dude? So we're going to get like a little timeline on him. There you go, Creator Nat. So I'm going to answer this in a really weird way. There was a lot of strength in decision making here at the beginning of the career. There was a lot of energy and good decision making, or moderately good decision making. And he really was kind of humming along and good at the things that he could do. So we're going to put it that way. That's not to say whether he was a good leader or bad leader. I'm not suggesting either, but he was very, very good at what he was doing. And then there was this change. Now, intuitively, and I have my little psychic stones. Those of you that watch me know I have these. Intuitively, this is a life change, a change of heart. Okay. Now, I don't think that this is when he lost his first wife. I don't think this is when he lost his son. I think this is something much less tangible, if you will, or identifiable. There was some, and it's very strange. He's been very hard to read for lately. It's very clouded, and I get kind of the same thing when I read for Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a little bit hard for me to read for. It's like almost like there's like a psychic shield on him. I know that sounds terrible, but I don't know if he does or he doesn't. But with Biden, it feels very cloudy at this point. There was something that changed. There was some perspective that changed for him, and it completely revolutionized the way he thinks, the way he acts, and the decisions that he makes. So completely revolutionized this. It's almost like he threw the baby and the water out, threw the bath and the baby water um and the water out. So uh it just feels like that happened. And then there was an effort to really conceal that. So something that he's trying to do, and this is professionally, he is, and I know most politicians talk out of both sides of their mouth, but he really is talking out of both sides of his mouth. And the plans that he sets in place are very complicated to get from A to B. So instead of this is happening, we're going to respond with this and we're going to get this result, he has like a 27-point plan and like has to go all around the outside. His effectualness, is that a word? Effectualness? Effectiveness, his effectiveness is very long-winded. And that's really a mistake right now. And this is me speaking off the cards. It's a mistake because he's very old. So he can't do these investment plans where social change investment plans where it's going to happen in a number of years. He can't do things like that because he just doesn't have the time. Um, you know, I'm sorry. The best of his years are really behind him. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry for the rest of us. Um, he's really peaked out. I feel like he peaked out when he was in his late 40s. He really was at his best in his late 40s. Like 49 feels like the best year that he had. I have to go back and like see what happened to him when he was 49. We're gonna have a frantic teenager come down here and grab his bag because he is, I think, late for school. So his book bag is down here. um so that is what's going on, and he is struggling with the oh, maybe he didn't. So frantic teenager just left without his bag, so we'll see what happens. So he is struggling with how to execute these plans, still using the 27-point plan, but to speed up the process. Not really great. So, oh, you know what? He had a stroke, didn't he? Didn't he have brain surgery? Hang on, I'm going to look it up. Um, yeah. All right, when did he have brain surgery? Ba, 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 ba. He was a senator early 1988. He had a brain aneurysm in 1988. So how old was he in 1988? Okay, let me see. He was born in 1942. Ah. Holy crow, he was 46 when he had the aneurysm. So maybe I got my 6 and my 9 mixed up, but that was the turning point. It looks like I think that may have been where that turning point was, when he had the aneurysm. Very interesting. Yeah, well, I actually have a brain injury myself, and I had very significant epilepsy for a number of years because of it. Still, like, wait for the time bomb. Fun fact: some psychics are epileptic, so mine was from brain injury, but we do have a history of it on one side of my family. There were a few family members that did have some form of epilepsy, but let's take a look at that. So, did Joe Biden have significant change after the aneurysm? Hope you guys can hear me. I am shuffling. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm still weird after my brain injury, but so we're going to talk about something extra weird right now. So there's a phenomenon called walk-ins, and there's a few different schools of thoughts on this. And sometimes when an individual is desperate, full of despair, and not wanting to be around anymore, sometimes they, allegedly for entertainment purposes, can request that another entity come in and take over. Sometimes when individuals are in significant trauma, accidents, comas, things like that, all the best people are a little weird. Thank you very much. So thanks so much, guys. So thanks everybody for being here. I've got people dropping in and out. I know a lot of people were asking for private readings, but I've got to put a ticker up with the private readings. So I get a feeling that maybe this was a walk-in situation. Now, walk-ins, it's not like click, all of a sudden there's a complete and total personality change. Walk-ins can share the entity for a little while, the physical body. They can walk in and they walk out, and walk in and they walk out. Now, I had another friend who had a significant brain injury. He was in a bike accident in San Francisco, and was a completely different person when he came out of the coma. He was the initial phone call we got was that he wasn't going to survive, and he was in a coma for some time. And when he woke up, he asked the nurses, where did the plane crash? Because he thought the plane crashed on the way to San Francisco. I'll be honest, I didn't like him that much before the accident. I thought he was like, okay, he's a little not interesting to me. After the accident, he was like my favorite person. It was very, very strange, but and there were other people that were very close with him that kind of pulled back. So I'm very curious if that was a walk-in situation. I'm no longer close with him, but it is what it is. Life goes on. But this feels a little bit like a walk-in situation. So it feels like there was this contributing factors. Okay, contributing factors. So when the aneurysm happened, again, this is for entertainment purposes only. I am just a tarot card reader. I'm not, the knower of all. We're getting close to shutdown time. So it feels like when the aneurysm happened, he wanted to move on at that point and struggled with staying or going, and then did this flip-flop, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And then ultimately something else came in. And the people that do write about walk-ins. Like some of them say, okay, it's a very evil entity that can walk in. Some of them say, there could be angels that'll walk in, that sort of thing. So I'm on the fence with it. I think it's a cool idea. I'm not sure. I'm not. Oh wait, hang on. Creator net. Now walk-ins with Biden makes even more sense. My husband can feel something really spiritually off with. Yeah, it's it definitely, there's something off. It's like it's hard to put your finger on. It's like with Elon Musk, when I read for Elon Musk, it just feels like he's like, yeah, you don't come in here. It just feels like he doesn't want anybody prying. With Biden, it feels like disjointed and kind of all over the place. It just feels very, very strange. I don't know what it is, but it feels very, very strange. So let's do this. We're going to do before and after. Okay. The aneurysm. Let's do before and after. For entertainment purposes only. And my stomach is growling so much. I hope you guys can't hear it. Oh, this is a pretty good bike. I'm so hungry. Oh, honestly, aren't we all though? I feel like everything is crazy. Like it was 20 degrees the other day. Then it was like 65 degrees. My heat's on, my air conditioning's on. Sometimes the heat's on downstairs, the air conditioning's on upstairs. It's bizarre. I am so ready to get out of here. So, So this is before the aneurysm. Very interesting. Positive, 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 positive. Very positive. And then this one's like, whoops, everything's falling through my fingers. I've got all the tools and then everything falls apart. I don't know what I'm doing. Now, after. Oh dear. So after, we get sadness, depression. Head injuries can do that too. Brain injuries can do that. They can interfere with your manic depressive tendencies. I mean, I think everyone has them. I think we all go through phases. This is interesting. So this is ascension, recognition, victory. And this is the closing of the loop, the moving on to the next cycle. So this is kind of neat. The Five of Pentacles is cooperation, but when this is cooperation for foundations, but when we get into that five in reverse, it's like we're moving on to we're moving beyond the cooperation and into good morning serendipity. I'm almost finished up. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to watch like on the replay, but I'm trying to figure out a good time to do the morning report. So I'm like Gary Gnu, for those of you that are old enough for that. So this feels like I don't think I like the entity that's in there now. I just don't think I like it. I think it's troubled. Where's our future for Joe Biden? Where's our future? We're going to wrap this up in just a minute. Ooh. Ooh. Bleak. So emotionally self-involved. Inevitability is marching forward. Okay. Still, for entertainment purposes only. This is just a tarot. I'm going to change my banner while we're doing this. Hang on, let me change my banner. Is it there? All right, there we go. So, self-involved decision making. His legacy is something he's very, very concerned about. No, very Redbeard. Elon Musk challenging him to a duel with the flamethrower was like the greatest thing I've ever seen. I was not a big fan of Elon Musk, and like he's my favorite guy right now. I think he's really awesome. Gary Gnu. Thank you, Creator Nat. So selfish decision making, and this is his legacy is running out. He's not going to be remembered well by the history books. It's these are bad decisions that he's making. He's going to try and have like one last hurrah where like I'm a great leader, but it's going to fall flat. It's really going to fall flat. So one last poll. Let's do one last poll. And we're just going to see what the next few days are. We'll do like a 5-card spread next 5 days or so. We'll get through the weekend for Ukraine. And then I got to log off, guys. So we have the appeal for help, the emotional appeal, not getting the kind of help that we want, not getting the kind of response, grave disappointment. But then we have some success here. It's like day 4 or so. Then we have some success here. So it looks like, they may get some relief come like day 4, day 5, and then things start to look a little bit better. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to try and do another morning show tomorrow. But for today, I want everybody to have a great day. And maybe I'll even pop on later. But I got to figure out a day where we can do like a pick a card thing for everybody, because I want to start doing readings for you as well. Sound off in the comments. Let me know what works for you. Have a fabulous day.